Oh my gosh, it's so tough. So, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. How come every Mitsubishi review is always raining? Anyway, so what we have here today is the 2022 Mitsubishi Fuso Canter. So yes, this is my first ever official truck review. So hopefully I can get more of this soon on my channel. So why did I want to review this in the first place? We had a school bus that was like this. I forgot what generation, just put it here on screen. And as well, being a utility vehicle, you have also a big engine. And also what's new or probably the same as the previous Fuso Canter, you have laminated rear springs up front and behind. So that means you can carry a lot of things inside here. So also the owner of this uses this for transporting his goodies. The payload capacity is 2,640. So powering this thing is a 3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel engine that produces 125 horsepower and 294 Newton meters of torque. Yeah, so this is the rear of the Fuso Canter utility van, and VH is not too bad, but I can say it's better than before. And like the older Canter, the one I mentioned, you have manual sliding windows here. I remember in my grade school days that we used to fight all the time who gets more air in, so it happened like this. We'll just push this back and forth endlessly. And I found the door side of this really funny. I mean, what do you expect? It's a utility van. However, it sounds exactly the same as before. I can guarantee. It's thin, but it's at the rear. It's fine. So the looks at the rear, it's pretty boxy. I mean, it's pretty standard for utility van. Also, your spare tire is underneath, a full size, by the way. And getting in and out of this utility van is not too bad at all. It feels like exactly the old Canter that I mentioned. And space here in the back is infinite. The room, legroom, absolutely infinite, even my headroom. I'm having a massive throwback here from before. Oh yeah, and also I remembered now, in case you want to bring bigger stuff in, you can open this door if needed only. I'm not gonna demo that now since it's raining so hard now. I think I'm stuck here. Anyway, also the padding here, much better than before. I mean, for a morning and going home school trip, you'll be very comfortable here. And as well, you can fold up the seats as well. And then you have rails above here. We used to play monkey bars here all the time, and my school bus driver, shout out to him, he would scream at us a lot. But I don't think he will like this Fuso Canter because if you see there, this window to the cabin, you cannot open the window there anymore. I remember in the old ones, you can slide the window to the side. Communication might be an issue only. And then air conditioning, really same as before, the controls are on the left. You have 5 air conditioning vents. So as well, like all Mitsubishis, even this Canter, even with the old one, the air conditioning system here is so cold. I remember how cold it was here in the back. Do take note, you have to take care of that really well. Otherwise, water will start just dripping here in the cabin, and there will be a massive water fight here for all the children who sit here in the back. And unlike the one I mentioned, that Canter, there's a big space there within the window, so you can probably assemble an altar there if needed. And what else to talk about here? I feel so nostalgic just sitting here in this Fuso Canter. This is also the other reason why I wanted to review one in the first place, because this was my school bus. Not this exact one, but in general, Fuso Canters were my school buses. So that's about it here in the passenger side. I'll show you the front cabin after the rain stops. I'm stuck here. Can you notice when you close the door? Watch this. The cabin shakes. And as well, I forgot to mention in the engine, since it was raining, to open the engine, it's not underneath here in the seats. You have to open this front shell and put it down. So every time I think of that shell, I always see that movie of Jackie Chan where a man just got crushed in front of the window. So that's always the first thing I think about when you fold down this front shell. And like before, manual operating windows. Also, like, there's a fancy door handle here. There's also a cubby space here. Perfect example, there's a towel here. That's the only thing you can fit. And then steering wheel here, there's nothing on it. It's also really angled, so you'd feel like more of a truck driver. I always wanted to drive something with this kind of layout. The clutch is here on the left side. In between that is your steering column, and then the brake and throttle is on the right side. The throttle, it feels exactly the same as the Fuso Canter that I keep mentioning. So here in the cabin, you have 4 air conditioning vents, a weird cubby space here. here, and there's a lot of blank buttons here. And I don't even know what some of these buttons. Please comment down below what they are. Funny enough, here on the left side you have a brake fluid. So I've seen some, like my school bus driver, when his brakes are fading, he will just simply top up here on the left side. Simple as that. And then you have your analog speedometer, analog tachometer, simple layout. All of your warning indications are all there in the middle. And then surrounding it, there are 4 blank buttons on each side. So there's a total of 8 blank buttons each. So I don't know what are those for. Maybe it's for customization. You can add buttons here for extra lights, so on and so forth. Most likely. And then you have a 1-DIN radio with your climate control functions below, and there's also extra cubby space. You have your hazard button, cigarette lighter, and as well with this Fuso Canter, this is mated to a dog leg 5-speed manual gearbox. So I saw in the brochure, first and reverse gear are reverse constant mesh gears, and then the rest of the gears 2, 3, 4, 5 are synchro mesh gears. I have no idea what that means, but all I know is are smooth gearing for the synchro mesh gears. So I tried it out, now I understand what it means. So for gears 2, 3, 4, 5, it is very light. I mean, like that, look at that. And then for reverse and first gear, it is really heavy, like among the heaviest I've tried. So of course reverse and first gear are important since you'll be carrying a lot of items there in the back. So in case you need to go uphill, that's why the reverse and first gears are stiff. And you won't have any issue with this since this engine is also one of the most proven in its class as well, this 3-liter supercharged diesel engine. I've also known my school bus driver, he was very close to me. We share thoughts here and there with that. So it's a very reliable passenger van. And VH is not as bad as you think. You can hear the cricket. There, completely shut. Okay, that's not too bad. So back to the ownership experience. So if I want this as my first ever business vehicle, I would definitely consider a Fuso Canter because they are one of the most proven. Nice seats here, they're fabric only, but they're much thicker and much nicer to sit in compared with the Toyota Lightis. And you have a very, very long manual handbrake here. And the third seat here, yeah, you can sit a third passenger here if ever, and you can make it act like a central armrest if needed. So that's about it here with the interior of the Mitsubishi Fuso Canter. That's it. Let's go for a drive. Right, gonna drive the Fuso Canter. I'm officially a truck driver. Dog leg, don't forget, this is... Okay, visibility out front, of course, it's a short nose. Visibility is excellent. Even with the back, you can see the back so clearly. And the clutch is... it's kind of hard and mushy. Yeah, second and third gear, the rest of this, as I explained earlier, yeah, it is much smoother compared to first gear. And then driving this, first impressions, okay, super easy. Sometimes they use second gear as first gear already. Since the first gear, it is pretty hard, I gotta say. And then yeah, the engine is noisy, but that's given. It's comparable to the Fuso Canter that I keep mentioning. And then steering is surprisingly light. I was expecting a heavy one since this is a truck. And then over humps and bumps. It is bouncy since these are all on leaf springs, but it's not as bad as you think. It's as bouncy but comfortable as I remembered, like the old one. And then the torque of this is crazy. I mean, I know it's not the fastest thing ever, but the torque of it is good. And the clutch is not as heavy as you think, but I gotta say it's just like a tad heavier than for example, a manual Strada. And as well, being a diesel engine, there is no kilometer reading on this, so but knowing this is a diesel engine, you'll be fine with this. And as well, being a deep clutch, Yeah, it's a long travel, then the clutch bite is like really high, and the throttle is among the lightest I've ever experienced. It's like you can just gun it if you want, but I'm not gonna gun it, of course, for obvious reasons. Yeah, there's a lot of understeer with this thing. Yeah, the turning circle might be a bit wide, but it's a truck, it's forgivable. I see why these are the most sought of after utility vans, because you have the reliability, you have the space, you have the payload, and also being a diesel engine, it won't hurt your wallet as much unlike a gasoline passenger van. I'm enjoying driving this thing, to be honest. I finally got to drive the school bus of my dreams if ever I wanted to buy one for a school bus, or as a people hauler if needed for carrying car. So what else can I say? Powers, alright. That's can I say. So I'd like to thank the owner so much for allowing me to review their personal passenger van. I also like to thank Kuya Alfred here for assisting me in this test drive. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you officially with more truck reviews. Bye bye.